Hey everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous Podcast. We're back this week with the best host ever, Wise Papa Smurf, and with him and slightly less skill, capacity, and handsomeness is my buddy Alec Wormlax. What's up, Alec?
What up, guys? I don't know if all the statements are factual. I feel like there's some fake news going around here.
Don't have to be factual. That's what people
As long
believe.
as you say them confidently enough, right?
Yeah, it's mastery of what you do, right? That's you just say it with utter and complete confidence, and they will believe. With me as well, making his debut as a host or co-host or whatever we call whatever it is we do on the League of Legends Anonymous podcast is Michael Largen, aka Ponderous Sealion. What is up, dude?
Last Shadow. No, it's really just me. I don't know. I like talking about League of Legends, but I don't like actually producing podcasts that much. So I'll make someone else do it, and here I am.
Yeah, Sam's just rolling over in his grave right now.
If you didn't know, it's jokes like that you could have found on the now defunct League of Legends radio podcast, which was a one-man show that Ponderous did for quite some time. A lot of good information on that podcast. It was fun until it became no fun to make, I imagine, because that's the shitty part of podcasting is actually like making it.
Yeah. Well, and it was hard. Like, even if I was like producing a show like this, it's like, you know, if there's some like shit left in there, it's fine because people are usually distracted because it's like, hey, there's 3 people talking to me. But if you're by yourself and you cough, it's like, it's really distracting. So you have to cut all that shit out. Just got to be.
It probably requires a hell of a lot more. Yeah, it probably just requires a hell of a lot more post-production, stuff like that too, just in general.
But I'm here now. That's all ancient history.
All right, Michael.
Expensive life.
Let's talk about this. So everybody probably expects now that you're on the podcast that you are a support main, because all of us are. So you want to break that out? You're not a support main or what?
Well, actually, I just started picking up Janna and Soraka. I really think that that's going to make me better as a player if I start picking those champions. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you after I get Viper to duo with me when I show him my tits. So,
I noticed that your breasts look awfully fuller lately, more supple. Is that why?
Okay, but no, for real. Well, for real, because this is a serious podcast. I am a jungle main primarily. It's super serious, dude. What do you mean? But anyways, I primarily play jungle. I just started playing top and mid as well to supplement it. And yeah, my main top laner is Tryndamere, main mid lane's Diana. And I play most of the jungle champions that aren't super complicated like Lucian and Elise. I could probably figure out how to work them. So, yeah.
All right. So, anybody who's looking for jungle resources, we now have a guy for you. That's what we call vertical integration and or horizontal integration. I can't remember what. It's been a long time since business school. Like vertical is when you climb up your supply chain. Right? So it's more vertical than it is horizontal.
I believe this is horizontal integration because I provide the same service but at a different level. I don't know, dude.
No, you're probably right. Anyway, so today we thought it'd be... Oh, by the way, he's Diamond what now? What'd you peak at? Diamond 2 or 3?
Diamond 1 promos was my peak, but right now I'm Diamond 4. And that was like 2 seasons ago, so I'm pretty bad now.
All right. So just a low diamond player. And before we begin, I do want to talk about something because I saw a Reddit post today that drove me insane. And I want to address it because it is... And since we have like 3 Diamond 3 through 5 players right here, right now, it's a good time to address this, okay? Mm-hmm. So the title of the post was, can we please stop the Diamond 3 to Diamond 5 circle jerk? And I thought, I wonder what this is about, right? So I clicked open the post, and I found a poster saying, I think it's bullshit that people consider Diamond 3 to Diamond 5 to be shitters and terrible at the game and blah, blah, blah. They're in the top 1%. Leave these poor shitters alone, right? Is generally I'm nutshelling it, right?
Yeah.
And there's kind of like a point counterpoint on this, right? Because it says their point was that these people got to the top 1%. They're obviously good, and that's fine, right? And this is, whenever I read it, I went, you know what? Point counterpoint. I'll let Michael make the point he made, and then I'll make the point I made, because I think they're both true, and it's a weird kind of way to look at it, right? Diamond players are good. They are. I mean, you got up to the top whatever 0.8 or 1% or something, so clearly you're better than 99% of the rest of the community, right? And that's cool. But there are some things about gameplay at that level that I don't think you understand until you honestly get there, right? And as a background, to me, it is literally the, like, Plat 1, kind of Plat 2, Plat 1 is like literally the worst elo you can play at.
Yes.
And then followed right below that to Diamond 5. And then right below that, Silver.
Yeah.
You know, and then probably like Bronze, and then the best one to play at is Gold, I feel like. Right?
Agreed.
Okay. So with that, the reason that I feel that way is because everybody in Plat, high Plat, has the I belong in Diamond mentality. I think I'm Diamond. I think I'm good enough for Diamond. I feel as though I belong there. And if not for X, Y, and Z shitters around me, which are usually Diamond players, because at Plat 1 and 2, you're getting paired with Diamond players, right? If not for all these shitters, then I would be Diamond, right? So there's a negative mentality there that creates kind of a hostile environment of people that want to quit early and people that want to bully and people that want to just throw their hands up in the air and quit, right?
Yeah.
La la la, I'm not listening. You're mean to me.
Yeah,
those guys.
that kind of stuff. And I mean, the only other place I think you see that is Silver. Because it's people that go, I deserve gold, I want the skin. It's like a really important milestone that is kind of the same, right?
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah,
With
shoot.
something?
Yeah.
Platinum is the silver of high elo, and diamond is the gold of high elo. Like, platinum and silver are very analogous in the mindsets of the players. And low gold and low diamond players both have the mentality of like, okay, I got to my goal. I'm just going to lay down and be a shitter now. Like, gold 5 players, they're getting the skin. They don't care. Diamond 5 players, they got to diamond. They don't care. They're very similar in that way. You just get a lot of people who don't care, which can make those elos a bit frustrating to play at.
Because, I mean, in that high silver / plat, you're fighting ego. And in the
exactly
gold and diamond 5, you're fighting apathy. Yes.
Yep.
It is absolutely like, well, I don't give a fuck. I can't drop. So
I know I got
game.
here by one tricking Sejuani, but now I'm going to be a Syndra main. Wow. And then they just fucking feed 010 Syndra every single game. And it's like, oh, I could have never seen this coming. That's so weird that you're feeding.
Oh, we're kind of behind this game. I don't want to play it out. This is just to keep my elo up so I don't decay.
Teehee.
Exactly.
But
Losing is so fun.
But look at how full my breasts are.
That's a Janus player.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Anyway, but that being said, like, here's my deal, right? And Michael, I think you brought up a good point, and I'll let you make it, that you can't really judge Diamond unless you've gotten there, right? Because, I mean, that was your counterpoint on Twitter, so why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
So here's my whole thing. If I'm in Diamond 4 right now. I don't think I've peaked. I'm still at like a 60% win rate, so I think I can go higher this season. But point being, I'm Diamond 4 right now. We'll assume that's just where I'm at for the sake of this. I'm in the top, I think I checked it yesterday, like 0.7% of players. That makes me well above the average. And my problem comes, like, when I play normal games, I don't play to lose, but I don't play 100% to win every time. Like, I like to try champions. I like to do stuff. But the problem comes when you have these gold and platinum players, especially, who think that they're hot shit, call you boosted because you're having a bad game in normals. And I actually read a little bit into the thread that you posted on Twitter, and I actually saw somebody say, Diamond players always feed worse than gold and platinum players in normals. They're all boosted, like actually saying shit like this.
Yeah, no, that
my
was
whole thing
actually
is
a
like
comment.
I've been called hard stuck diamond because I finished diamond the last 3 seasons by silver players. What do you mean I'm hard stuck diamond? You're fucking hard stuck shitter. Like, get good and you can talk shit. Like, I'm not saying, like, if a challenger player says it, it has a much different meaning than a silver player saying it. And my fucking problem with it essentially comes down to streaming, because people will repeat anything that high elo players say, even if it's wrong,
Right.
or if it's correct from the streamer's perspective, but not from the viewer's perspective.
Sure,
Bad
and I mean-
is correct from a pro player's perspective,
Right,
but it's not
so,
correct
like-
from a silver player's perspective.
For example, anyone here that is on this podcast right now is dog shit in comparison to like Pobelter or somebody who's in Challenger, right? Like, we're fucking terrible by comparison. So
Right.
if somebody
Correct.
wants to call me dog shit that is a pro, I will happily agree, right? Like, that's not a problem, right? But the skill difference between pro and Diamond 5 or Diamond 4 or Diamond 3 is monumental, and it's the same kind of skill gap that's between Diamond and, you know, gold or silver or whatever. Like, I think that amount of information is the kind of difference that exists between Diamond, let's say, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Right? So, this is what my point was in this deal, because I actually agree with everything Michael said. I mean, it's kind of a backwards insult to be like, oh, yeah, you're hard stuck diamond. Like, oh, no, I'm in the top 1%. Shit. You know, like, oh, no, I didn't go from 1% to 0.0001%. I feel terrible about myself.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
Such a dumb insult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a really dumb insult. But I mean, from my point of view, and I think, like, this is what bothered me about it, is like, well, you can't be bad if you're diamond. And that is just not true. And so, like,
Very untrue. Very false.
so if anybody has been watching my stream for the last, like, 3 days, while I've been doing I'm in my diamond promos right now.
Or partaking in your stream, as some of us have been.
Yeah, sure. Or if you were there and, you know, duoing with me at the time. But I mean, it has been an absolute shit show in ADCs in the bot lane. And I'm not saying that, keep in mind, natural disclaimer, I do not think I'm Challenger. I do not think I'm Diamond 1. I don't think I'm so fucking good to be on the refining flawlessness into my gameplay, right? Like, that is not the step that I am on. I'm still under improvement. And I'm also the first one to say, oh, yeah, I fucked up that game. I missed a whole bunch of hooks. Or I fucked up that game. I did X, Y, and Z, right?
Yep.
But when I play, I notice, especially because as a support main, you have a magnifying glass on your ADC because you have to play with them as a partner. And you may have never played with them before, but you are hard watching everything that they do, right? And I have noticed some things that are just basics that are missing, right? And by that, I mean things that are mechanical basics, like orb walking, right? Michael, do you remember when we had that Ezreal that didn't orb walk at all?
No, Blake. I don't remember. Was that the Ezreal, or was it the Varus, or was it the Zaya, or was it the Tristana that wouldn't wall block?
Well, that's actually a pretty good
Seem
point.
to remember a few of those.
But I mean, these are like, and I'm not trying to call
Animals.
those particular guys out, except to say that that is a basic that most players master in like gold, or should master in gold, or at least in low plat.
Master is a subjective term.
Okay,
Should
do. I'll just
demonstrate
say
is a better word.
Yeah, it's a skill that they put on display. Like, granted, there's like, I assume you can like auto attack cancel or do things that make it more
cancel
quick
auto,
and
shit like
clean.
that. But they're fucking walking backwards and hitting people at the same time.
Yeah, they are
Revolution.
walking and shooting, and that's great. That's something that you can perfect with mechanics, but that's a very basic mechanical thing that I would expect you to show some prowess at a diamond level, right? Because you're at the top 1%. You should, if you're playing ADC, be able to do that. I don't see that happen literally all the time in diamond. And, that's bad. Because I would expect that of silver players. Not silver. I would expect that of gold players. I would expect that of platinum players. And so if you want to say that people at that level aren't good, that's a very basic mechanic I would expect lower elo players to have. Likewise, going all in and race to the level 2 power spike in bot lane and then going all in once you have it. It's a very basic PowerPoint. Well, okay, not like Microsoft, but like point of advantage, right?
I think we get what you're saying.
Word, dude.
Yeah, word. That my word choice excelled there. But I guess what I'm trying to do is change your outlook. Oh! Anyway,
I'd like to submit my resignation from the LOLA podcast now.
We only accept those on Access. So anyway, level 2 all in is something that I really expect to be a contested point at every game, right? And you don't ever see that happen in silver. You see it happen some of the time in gold, and most of the time, or at least, I don't know, it's coin flip whether you see it in plat or not, right?
Yeah.
In diamond, you are in the top 1% of the player base. This is something that you should know, right? And a lot of these players, they're not bad. They just are lacking skills in very specific areas of advantage that they're not taking advantage of. Because you can get there and still have deficits in your game and still not be a complete
huge
package.
deficits in your game.
Right. You're not a complete package. It's like
you're not 90% of the way there in Diamond 5. You're like 50% of the way there in Diamond 5, which is what people don't realize is that your skill, like percentage-wise, like what percentile you're in, doesn't actually match up to what percentage of the skills you've mastered. Because that 1%, that top 1% between like Diamond 5 and the rank 1 player has as wide of a skill gap as Diamond 5 to like silver, at least, maybe even bronze. Like the amount of skills that people are still lacking in Diamond 5 is monumental. It's just they're lacking fewer skills than the people below them.
So this was the analogy I used today on Reddit. I said, if it's like trying to build, if ELO is only measured by height, right? Like maximum height, and you took building blocks and you just stacked them on top of each other, right? Somebody could get to diamond by just stacking them one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, right? And so you have enough skills to reach the minimum height for diamond, but your tower's super wobbly, it's unsupported, and in a breeze it'll fall over, right? Mm-hmm. But if you wanted to get to diamond 3, the height requirement is so much higher than that you'd have to build some kind of supported structure, like a 3D pyramid, right? Now, imagine how many more blocks you would need to build a 3D pyramid instead of just stacking them on top of each other. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's how many more skills are required to hit that like next level. And that's why people refer to like Diamond 3 as like, or Diamond 2 as high elo, right? Like, because that's what it takes to hit that.
Right.
Right. And then, of course, if you want to go Challenger, it's like a whole nother monster. But I mean,
I've heard from Challenger players that even the difference between like Challenger 300 LP and Challenger 800 LP is massive. And those are all top 200. I guess 350 LP is more like the Challenger cutoff, roughly. But like Challenger 350 LP versus Challenger 800 LP is even a huge gap.
yeah. So, I mean,
Already the top 200.
so yeah, I mean, obviously, top 1% is, is a good player. But it's stupid to make fun of somebody for being in the top 1%. That's dumb. Mm-hmm. Secondly, just because you're in the top 1% does not mean you are some kind of flawless demigod that cannot make mistakes and is above reproach. I'm not that good at League of Legends. I'm not. And I'm in that group. Right? So, who knows? Who knows where I'll peak? I don't know. But, I'm not going to, being in that group of players, yeah, it's not anything that's beyond like, well, I'm incredible and I carry every game. No, I don't.
I think it's a lot about like I like to try to stay humble with like how I feel about my own gameplay. Like a lot of people I watch like on YouTube and Twitch, it's like they're not always Challenger. They're sometimes in mid diamond, and I still watch them and go, wow, I kind of suck compared to this person. It's like, oh yeah, they're not even at the top of the game. Like if you go and watch like streamers, people at like Challenger, high diamond, you start like when you're watching a game, you can see so many more mistakes when you're just watching, and then you go, oh shit, I'm worse than these people, and they're making this many mistakes. How many mistakes do I make a game when I'm not like watching myself diligently because I'm too focused on like gameplay? Like and then if you keep removing that elo by elo, right? Every division you go down, it's like if you're in silver watching a diamond game, and you can see like, holy crap, they did this wrong. How did a diamond player do this wrong? It's like they are at a higher elo than you. There's not unless they are actually boosted, that means in some way they deserve that over you. So what mistakes are you making that are so much more glaring than theirs? Like it's a lot about mentality of there's always something to be better at in League.
Yeah. And I would say, I mean, because that leads us into some of the writing questions is, what about mentality, right? Because Victor asks, this is BDV, hits us up with the question, what's a good way to keep your head up while climbing? Not just dealing with tilt, but keeping a good attitude in general. I've seen a lot of ranked games gone wrong post recently, so let's give it a boost to the people that need it. Okay. I'm not asking Michael this question. He gets sour as a grapefruit.
I was about to ask if you want me to sit this one out.
Yeah, no,
It's not my fault that these people suck.
No, his answer is he duos with me, and I'm happy-go-lucky, right? So, no, fuck. Here's the thing. Like, Ashley was asking me about this. I've been coaching Ashley a lot, her new social media person, and she's trying to learn support, and she's like, well, what do I do if I get a bad ADC? And I'm like, I get bad ADCs like all the time. I mean, it's just part of it. It's a piece, right? So if your ADC isn't doing well and you know they're not going to actually carry the game, put your effort into increasing someone who does have the potential to carry, right? Like roam mid. Hell, even roam top sometimes if you need to, right? I mean, anything that you can do to put resources into somebody else that's going to be worth a damn, do it. I mean, obviously don't write off your AD carry completely because your team needs somebody to shoot people. But, invest your efforts into people that you know are going to do well, right? And if you know that person is just not that good, okay, don't let it piss you off. Just go, okay, well, this isn't the game. I mean, I segment that shit out in my mind, right? Like, I'm like, well, this isn't a game that guy's going to carry, so nothing he's going to do is going to piss me off because I know that that's essentially like a lost cause, right? Ernie used to say a lot about preserving your mental, right? And, he would just preemptively mute people that were doing poorly and things like that. Like, he really would. Like, I would watch him do it. And I'd be like,
I
If
used
I've
to
been having
slash
bad-
mute all every game.
I do that a lot as well. If I start doing, especially if I start doing poorly myself, and I can tell I kind of want to blame someone, I just mute all. It's like, okay, don't say anything. This is not their fault. You playing bad. Even if it was, even if somehow there's a game where you have 10 deaths and every single one of those was someone else's fault, it's don't have that mentality. Because first of all, it's not going to be. That's never going to happen. But I always you're never going to go into a ranked game and then go into the next one and have those same exact teammates, most likely. You're always going to keep switching teammates, so the only thing consistent is you. So all you can do is stay focused on your own mentality and what did I do wrong in this game? You could be 10-0, you could be 0-10. Both games have things that need to be better about them.
yeah. Okay, so you bring up a good point. I want to cover it, but I don't want to say the same thing that everybody always says, like, focus on you. Because that is good advice, and I mean, there's
Right.
nothing wrong with it. But,
Everybody listening has heard it.
Everybody listening's heard it, right? So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about positivity in your mindset, right? Because
You're really killing me here, Blake.
I know. Let's exclude Michael further.
Wait, can I give my counter argument after you guys are done?
What
For
about
my mindset?
flaming douchebags? Is that what you're gonna talk about? You
I'm
gotta
not gonna
tell
talk
people
about-
when they suck ass. It really makes you feel
No,
better.
I'm
like
not.
a man.
I'm not gonna say that, but I do have some points that I would actually like to make. But you guys go
Yeah,
first.
Sure. He just puts hair on your chest to flame your ADC. Eat a can of spinach before each game and flex on your mouse. Anyway, I don't know, man. Here's I guess my thoughts, right? There's been the old we'll treat everybody like they're a bot. You're not going to see him again. What's the difference between your ADC and intermediate Ashe bot? Would you tell a bot they're retarded? No, they're a bot. They have no feelings, so it doesn't matter, right? I actually think that's pretty decent advice. I also go as far as to say, imagine that they are just straight children. Not even 12. Because a 12-year-old you can make fun of and feel all right about that. But they're 6.
Yeah.
Right? He wants a juice box. Right? That's the people that are taunting you because they have bad parents. Right? No reason to hit a kid mentally or physically.
He doesn't understand the emotions he's feeling because he wants a juice box and he doesn't have one.
Yeah, right.
He just knows that you could get him one.
Yeah, just hand that kid some fucking grapes and go to work.
No. I think.
So what do you think,
it's-
Alec?
I think it's a lot to yes, it's a very tired thing to say, focus on you and improve yourself. But that's also a part of it. That's what League is about. If you can't focus on just you, if all those other things really do mentally block you, you might have something that that's something you need to break down to maybe help you boost an elo. Mentality is a huge part of this game.
Yeah.
Because the second you are tilted in game, and if that happens on the first game, you start making worse decisions. So, I'm with Michael that I used to slash mute all a lot as soon as I got into game. Just these people do not have any feelings about how I'm playing. I don't have any feelings about how they are playing. I'm just going to play the best that I can play, and whatever the outcome, yeah, it's very tired to say it's all about me, but how else are you going to climb your rank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if Naruto tilted, he would have never become the Hokage of the Leaf Village. Believe it. All right, Michael.
All right, so
floor
I've
is
got-
yours for a rant.
gonna rapid fire this. So So here's a fact. If you're in Silver 5, you're not much better than Silver 5. You're probably not Gold 5 level if you're playing consistently and you're in Silver 5. You can be at Silver 3 level and still be stuck in Silver 5 because the difference is negligible. If your team is 5% worse every game, then you could stay stuck there. As far as keeping a good mentality, you have to understand that a third of the games that you play will be unlosable. A third of the games you play will be unwinnable, and the third in the middle is what actually matters. It's kind of like Focus on You, but it's got some, like, I find it to be more realistic. There are games that you lose in loading screen, not because of your team comp, but because your team is just worse than theirs. And understanding that games are just unlosable, when you go 10-0 and then lose, you're not going to say, realistically, you're not going to be like, oh, I could have played better that game. Haha, good try, team. You guys are so good. It's not the case. You're just like, these guys fucking suck dick at this game, and then you move on. Like, save it for the post-game chat. I don't give a fuck if you rant in the post-game chat.
Don't rant in the post-game chat either.
You
That's
can't get
unhealthy.
reported for it. It's
Yes,
not
you can.
unhealthy, dude.
You copy
You
paste
can't.
it right into the report option. Verbal.
Well, you think
This
that Riot's
dude
gonna
called me blah
dude,
blah blah. I copy.
You
paste.
have to be. If all you do is talk in the post-game chat every game, I guarantee you won't get banned. If you're silent the whole time,
That seems like
you will not
horrible
get banned.
advice. I can't
It's
believe
the
that's true.
truth.
I can't believe
It is, dude. Do you know how many people just leave instantly after the game? Fuck. Don't rant in the post-game chat. Whatever. It's none of my business. My only point is that you're gonna lose a third of your games in loading screen. You can either
you're right.
you can deal with that in whatever manner you wish.
Yeah,
That's all that I'm saying. is that-
matchmaking. What you're saying is it's matchmaking that you're
Yeah,
gonna
matchmaking is gonna fuck you. In the words of Donkey, they use the same algorithm as Christian Mingle. You know, you're just gonna get fucked sometimes. Unlike Christian Mingle. Yeah, I don't know. That's my whole point. You just have to, like, you know, the whole keep your head up is tired, but you know, I just like to tack on, like, keep your head up. These people are awful. You know,
Either have
that's all I would say.
the wherewithal to deal with this and climb, and you want to get better, or you don't. Like,
Yeah.
you can get better at this game. There are 100 million resources on Twitch, YouTube, and all these other things to get better at this game. And it's like mentality is one of the biggest things you can change to just get there.
Well, that's
like into
I
gold
would just
and
say this.
platinum.
That's one of the easiest things you can change.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you could change skill things, or you can change mentality things, and mentality things much easier. Skills
This is-
much harder to develop.
This is random, but I need to say it. If you want coaching from me, if you message me in the Discord and I send you back an hour-long coaching video, and this is for you, Aries Spirit. You said you wanted me to mention you in the podcast. Here you go. I'm about to flame your ass on air. If I send you an hour-long coaching video, you better damn watch the entire thing, because you're going to learn more from that one challenge or coaching video than you would learn playing 20 games of League of Legends, and it's going to take 10 times less time to watch one video about Kazakhs. You're going to learn more about Kazakhs than you're going to learn playing 20, 50, 100, 200 games in gold. So
That's 100% correct. I've
if I
said
ever
the
link
same
you
thing.
something, watch it. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
no,
saying.
I've said the same thing. Like, the problem is self-study is boring. You want somebody to watch you and say, okay, this is what you need to do, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this is what you need to do applies to that game. It's like I've been coaching Ashley, like I said, and it's been a thing. I think I'm over coaching her, right? Like, I play with her every game. I'm like, okay, you should have done this. You should have done this better. This is something that you could have done differently, blah, 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 right? And it's too much to process.
There's no
'Cause, like,
scarcity.
Yeah, the brain just needs to go, oh, I need to work on warding at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm going to do that every game for 10 games until it becomes like a click, this is what I do, and then you go from there, right? And then you can move on to something else. Okay, now that I've done warding at 3:30 and I ward on cooldown, okay, then what else do I need to do? I need to work on roaming. Okay, let's do that. When's an appropriate time to, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you don't want to get into that overload, but those kind of videos are really good because they're pre-packaged material that covers a topic that you need. These are the things you need to put work in on.
Right.
And
So,
that's
like,
how you get.
Put it in an analogy, like you can't go to the gym, have a trainer show you like a really good workout session, and then all of a sudden you're going to get in a really good habit of going to the gym. You have to go to the gym for about a month or two daily for like 3 to 4 days a week, and then that will become a habit. It's the same thing with League. You can't have someone
hold on. I got to extend your gym analogy. And the first time you go to the gym, it hurts like fucking hell for the next like 3 days. And
Thinking is hard.
In League, you get worse before you get better. In working out, you get sore before you see results. It's the same fucking thing. Okay, please continue.
Yeah, so you got to push through and keep trying. You can't have one coaching session and then suddenly get better. I had this problem myself. I got coaching from a challenger player once, and I was so ready to have this challenge player like shock my world with how he was going to review my one VOD. And I came out the other side, and I was like, I could have taken all those things myself away from that video by just watching it myself. It's like, yeah, those were mistakes I made in that one game. But if I really wanted to get to that level, I would have had someone like coach me for weeks on end to really find out what my like bad habits every single game were, or watch every single one of my VODs. These things don't just come. It's not go to the gym, do one training session, you're ready, peak, go. You got to just keep getting at it, and it takes it. It hurts, and it feels like a grind, and that's like it's a video game, so you have to decide: is that what you want to do, or do you not have the drive to do that for a video game? You know?
Yeah, I mean, what's the level of your determination?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go into something lighter. Terry writes, what do y'all think of Lucian top?
Don't fucking play it.
I have to agree with Michael on this one.
It's not that it's inherently awful, but like, just don't play it. You're not helping anyone by playing it. It just increases the likelihood that your team comp is. And this is coming from a guy who plays Tryndamere top. Okay, and this is even worse for your team comp than that. Like,
that's saying something.
Don't play. If you want to play it in normals, fucking go ahead. If you're really gonna play it every game in ranked, you could do something a lot easier and just fucking play 80 carry.
Or you better know how to.
Or you could play something useful. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean,
in ranked.
So, okay, to me, I'm looking at it and saying, okay, well, I could see you're going to be a lane bully, you're going to do those things, and, you know, yeah, okay, you could potentially get a huge lead because he is real strong early in terms of his damage output, but where does it go? You know, where does it go from there? If you don't turn that early lead into a crush, where do you go?
If your jungler is Sejuani and your mid lane is Anivia and your support is Alistar, then sure, play Lucian top. It's not really going to fuck over your team comp at all. But if you've got Shaco jungle and Sona support, you're not going to scale well at all. Because that's the whole point of 80 carries, is that one of them late game pumps out a fuck ton of damage. Two of them could theoretically pump out twice the damage, but you're sacrificing the tank stats. So like a Lucian that dies instantly in a team fight
doesn't do any damage.
Isn't doing any damage. It doesn't matter. Your DPS, like your theoretical maximum DPS, like those fucking videos that like, what's better, crit ye or unhit ye? Oh my god, watch them both hit Baron for 20 seconds as if that determines anything. Like your theoretical possible DPS doesn't matter at all. Your actual DPS output is what matters. And it's going to be low later on in the game if you play Lucian top, comparatively as a team.
The best form of CC is death.
Exactly. And Lucian doesn't offer any real CC anyway, so...
Yeah, and the longer this game goes on, like the more seasons we've gotten into, the more team play matters. Like, team play has only gone up in mattering, so having a carry top laner has slowly diminished. Like, tanks are just so important for a comp. If you get to late game and you don't have a tank and you're just losing every fight because your team gets blown up, because their Scion is sitting on your ADC's face, like, it doesn't matter.
I'm just imagining that in a sexual way.
Good.
Like a Scion just...
Scion is a very sexual creature,
like,
so I'm glad you saw that.
Looks like fucking Krang's robot from TMNT just sitting on some dude's face. Little brain hands sticking out of the controllers, just jibbling your bits. Anyway.
What do we get off to?
Yeah, well, I went on a mental exercise. Okay.
No kink shaming here.
Yeah. Joshua Stewart. I need tips on how to ward as a mid laner. In lane phase in particular. What do you guys think?
Okay, wait, real quick. I have to say this because I watched this video yesterday. Go to Midbeast's channel on YouTube. He just uploaded, like in the last month, a fucking excellent warding guide for mid laners. It's like 12 minutes long. It's like tips on warding or some shit. Watch the whole thing 3 times and then take it into your games, and you will learn everything you need to know about warding. But
There's
we can still go
Ponderous.
over it here.
Ponderous telling somebody to watch 36 minutes of video. Yeah. Better watch it.
Yep.
It's
That's
good.
him.
And if you want to get better at mid, just watch Midbeast in general. Dude is
he's really good.
super good, and he talks through everything that he does. He doesn't just... It's not like watching Froggen, who, even though he's really good, he's silent the whole time. So it's like, unless you're really good at watching gameplay, it's hard to get anything out of it. Midbeast will literally talk through all his decision-making, and right now he's doing a level 1 to challenger series, so he's playing in, he's still like in diamond elo at this point already, but he's still playing at lower elos, so it's not all just like insane challenger like map movement the whole time.
Yep. Correct.
All right.
But
so
yeah, if you watch that video, I'll say maybe we can put a link to it in the show notes. I don't actually have control over that, but I will definitely put it in the hands of the people who do.
We can do
But
that.
it's really, really good information that you should 100% watch. So yeah, that'll answer any questions you have about warding as a mid laner.
All right. Well, then we'll just skip that and say watch the video because it's already covered. And it's probably be better in video format to answer that question anyway.
Yep.
I will say one thing. I don't know exactly where Josh is warding when he's playing. I know I think he's in Platinum right now, so he's not a terrible player. You gotta really learn to use the like odd laning areas, like where jungles will path. If you just keep placing your wards and bushes, they are always going to get cleared. One thing I learned a lot from playing mid is just like using random places in the jungle that you know will catch junglers alpha on their pathing, because otherwise you're just going to get your wards caught out every single time, or they're going to be on your ward and you're like, oh, they're there. Oh, wait, it's too late for me to run away already. So
yeah,
just a quick snippet of it.
Oh, and a random aside, so I can be passive aggressive. If you're trying to get better at the game, and you play mid, and you don't watch that video, you're not actually trying to get better at the game. That's all I'm going to say.
I like this new brand of just flaming our viewers if they don't do what...
Dude,
And
people,
you just
I
kind of
get
passive
tired.
aggressively just suggested that everybody who is below plat is bad at the game, by the way. So let me just throw that out there. I don't think that silver players are necessarily bad at the game. What they aren't.
Some of them are.
Well, some of them are. That's true. But some diamond players are fucking bad at the game. We just covered that. You know,
I mean, I'm here. I'm in diamond, so.
But I mean, no.
Have a control group.
Like, I'll just tell you this: if you put me in mid against Brad, who was what, gold?
Yeah, I think
something like that.
Yeah, if you put me in mid against Brad, who's gold, I will lose. He will beat me in mid. That is. My laning in solo lanes, not good. You know, I would lose to him. He outplays me on that crap. He probably has better mechanics than me overall anyway, right? That is not something that my role particularly requires on most occasions, but regardless, you know, I recognize that that's a deficit that I have, and he as a gold player is better than me as a diamond player in similar circumstance. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's not to say that gold players are bad. You could be really good at one thing, right? Like here's one. I am really good at leveling up my abilities as soon as I level. I watch challenger streams where they will fight an entire team fight and never level up an ability. And that drives me insane. Because I'm like, it's not hard. Just hit Alt Q or whatever your level up button is, right? Drives me fucking nuts. I see it happen all the time, and I'm like, hey, I do that better than they do. They do a lot of other stuff better than me, stuff that matters much more. But you may not be a bad player. It's just really hard to climb if what you're good at doesn't determine the outcome of the game every single game, or at least more than half of them. Right? And I'm sure that there are silver players that are better than me at a lot of stuff. So I'm not saying you're bad. I'm just saying you're incomplete. If that makes sense.
You just need some wise Papa Smurf to complete you.
There is pretty much no other way to end that statement.
Let's
Go find
heart.
his account on christianmingle.com.
Yeah.
Blake,
Yeah. What I'm going to need
Blake
you to
wise
do
Papa
is
Smurf.
tune into the stream and just make dreamy eye contact with me while I record. And it's yeah.
He likes long walks on the beach.
I usually just skip the walk and go straight to the beach sex.
Well, this is a Christian.
The walk uses way too much energy that I could be putting towards beach sex. You see? It's totally backwards planning. We go on a walk after, I guess. You can carry me. I'm going to have used up all of my fluids.
I hate sand. It's coarse against my
you
skin.
put down a blanket right by the car. Just right there by the car. I'm not even chasing off the goals. They can watch. I don't care. This is happening. I drove all the way down to the goddamn beach from Missouri.
All right, I'm taking
This
it upon
shit's
myself
happening.
to stop the Blake sex talk and let's talk about Michael's question.
Not me.
Not Michael in the
someone
call.
else.
Michael Alexander says, what are the best stimulants to imbibe during play? I'm a caffeine man myself.
None of them. They are all bad. They will all make you play worse. As corny as it is, water is the best thing to drink. Sorry.
Yeah, particularly if you put a handful of Adderall in your water.
Actually, okay, Adderall might help. Actually, I take it back. But don't do that.
If
Unless
you,
want
of
to.
course,
I
have a
can't really do anything.
prescription for Adderall. It's a prescription drug.
I'm a cocaine man myself.
I
But,
for a champagne flute of crystal meth. I just sip on it, crunch it in my teeth like Tic Tacs, and I play right until I forget what my monitor looks like. And then it's time to stop for the evening and go to a hospital. But no, I don't. I don't know, man. I will say this: if you drink while you play worse, guaranteed. Like drink alcohol.
Actually find your limits in the normal game. I had a friend who not like drunk, because drunk, no matter what, you're going to be worse.
I feel like you're talking about some drunken master bullshit, like you're going to Jackie Chan a dude in solo queue.
I swear to God, I have a friend who's mid-diamond that I don't think he plays League anymore. But back in the day, something about having a few drinks, getting him a little loose, he would play better. Just straight up. There was nothing, no rhyme or reason to it, but it worked. He was a better Vayne player whenever he was just a little bit drunk. Nothing like crazy, but just a little more loosened up. So if you really want to, give it a shot if you're over 21, because this is a Christian podcast.
I'm assuming everything that you're imbibing is legal. Let's just go there. So let's talk about one that isn't. Weed. I've never seen anybody play Stone and play better. There's too many things to take stock of during a game, and to slow down your brain does not make that easier. I don't know, like, I guess you would feel more relaxed, and that's fine. Feel relaxed, great. But
you'll also feel relaxed about the 10 deaths you have, and you keep running and dying.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
Man, I just gave him double buffs. It's all right. He's a cool guy.
I'll get him next time. That guy.
Dude, you're 3 turrets under at level 3. What are you doing? I almost had him.
Next time.
So to recap, maybe alcohol if you're super weird, but only a little bit, and probably Adderall.
If you
Yeah.
live in like a Tibetan monastery and you've been practicing martial arts your entire life and you can get a little bit drunk and then fight looser, you know, or if you are Jackie Chan in general, I've seen that movie. He was great at
Well,
fighting
Jackie
drunk.
Chan has all his own rules. None of the rules we ever say apply to Jackie Chan. He's his own man.
Yeah, he can imbibe whatever the fuck he wants, really.
Yeah. He'll
So-
play with like windshield wipers with the mouse.
But no,
and
I
keyboard.
mean, legit advice is, like Adderall is essentially a performance enhancing drug. It's like brain steroids for video games. That is not a good habit to get in if you do not have ADD. 'Cause
No.
it can actually fuck up your brain. So
The problem with Adderall is that it doesn't make you hyper focus on what you want to do. It makes you hyper focus on something. So you might end up taking it, and all of a sudden you go, I really need to clean right now. I'm going to clean right now. And then you're playing League of Legends, and you're like, man, that spot over there is really dirty. I don't know about that spot over there. But this League game, it doesn't correct things. If
I've
you're
been
not
staring at
actually
only
ADD.
my mini map for 14 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know where everybody is. Anyway,
Yep.
but I mean that kind of thing, or then maybe just a wee bit of alcohol, and if you're weird
Give it a try in normal games first.
and have powers, I guess. So, all right. Next up, Ashley writes, we've been discussing this in the Facebook group, but I want to hear your guys' opinions on damage supports, such as Lux, Viger, and Vel'Koz. What are the pros and cons, and is it okay to take kills?
I think we know what Blake thinks about this.
I feel like I answer this question constantly.
Kill everyone. So I'll go first since you always answer the question about support stuff.
Okay, shoot.
I personally, when I play, and especially when I'm doing with people, take every kill. I don't care. Do not worry about if you're going to chaos or something. Secure that damn kill. I cannot tell you how many times an ADC has flashed away with 1 health or healed away with 1 health because the support is like, oh, I wanted you to get the kill. Or the jungler that came top goes, oh, I wanted you to get the kill. Take the damn kill. Take it. Secure that kill. It is a secure. I don't care what people say. That kill is more important than what could happen.
Right. Keep in mind, if you're going to get 300 gold, they're going to get 150. Boo fucking who?
Yeah.
Right? Like, push in the rest of the wave. You get the difference in gold right there. Don't, or have them push in the wave. You don't necessarily push in the wave. But, yeah. Okay, so damage supports. I really honestly think that Vel'Koz is sleeper right now. I think he's really, really good with Comet.
Agree.
You spam Q, you hit them, they can't dodge the Comet, and it already does a lot of damage anyway. At 6, you can pretty much melt anybody. Vel'Koz is really fucking good. And if you save his E for periods in which you need to create like a no walk space or you need hard CC at a moment, right? Like comparable to like what Thresh Flay is, right? Or like a Janet Tornado, but less effective. It's really good, right? Viger, weaker early, but you scale really, 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 really good. Like you
Real quick, if you're gonna play Vigar, you have to play it properly because you can't farm the minions like you would in mid lane. So you have to be Q harassing, or you're gonna be useless.
That's accurate. And I don't think taking Targons to make up for that is good at all. You lose too much damage. So don't do that. But the Cage wins team fights. Your ult wins bot lane at level 6 because you can literally, if you catch their ADC, you pretty much one-shot them between you and your ADC and just drop your whole combo and throw your ult, and your ADC will either have put in damage during your combo or will finish them after, right? So Viger is actually good. Lux is all right.
Hit or miss. If you're good, I mean, it's kind of like a worse Morgana for bot lane to start
I
off.
agree with
if you
that.
can hit the bindings well, then she's going to be really useful, and you're going to catch people out.
It's like a less CC heavy Morgana,
Right.
You know, but it does a lot of damage, but you have to auto too. You don't have as much utility because Black Shield beats the fuck out of Lux's dipshit wand shield that sucks. You know, I mean, you're just playing Lux, and I've got Mastery 7 Lux support. I get it. You know, I just don't think it's as good as either of the other two options mentioned here.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that Lux does, both the other two do.
Yeah.
Viger has long-range laser blast that melts people's faces. He has CC. He's got a slow. You know, I think that's just better. And then Viger, you have a cage. You have an ult that goes boom. You have harass damage. I think it's just the same thing. I mean, realistically.
Yeah, I think the other one not mentioned in the specific post is Brand.
Mm-hmm.
Brand is,
so good.
He's
Brand's
so
really
good. You can, if you know how to play Brand, you out damage your ADC every game. It's
Brand is like
especially
this
with
season's
ultimate and team
Zyra.
fights. Like, yeah, if you can get decent at Brand, which he is not that hard to play, he does way too much damage for not many items. So he's really good in the support role. For low
Yeah,
income.
I feel like he's really this season's Zyra. Like Zyra used to fill that niche, and
Yeah.
I think Zyra's just. I don't
She's
know.
decent.
I don't know.
She's not terrible.
bad. She's not anything horribly different than she was. But okay, so pros and cons. The pros, you had a shit ton of damage. You can build damage out of support now. You have the gold freed up to do it, so that's possible. The con is you're squishy. If you get caught in lane, you're dead. If you die, you're really ineffective because now you're just not scaling at all.
Yeah.
So it's high risk, high reward, and if you do carry, you will murderate people. If you don't, then you will be totally fucking balls useless.
Yep.
Okay? All right, last question, then we're going to round out the show because we are already gone beyond Sam's 50-minute suggestion. I'm going to call it a suggestion and not a, hey guys,
Suggestion.
record 50 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, Steven writes, I've seen some information on the best time to play quality games. I usually play 9 p.m. Pacific into the morning. Seems like only drunk assholes and dope smokers are on with their 300 millisecond connection after harvesting buds all day. Help me find quality players. I watch streams and it seems like all ELO levels this week and last have been really bad players in the game. Who let these monkeys out?
Well,
So guys,
definitely-
is there a magic time?
Donquap did a video about it that suggested that the afternoon is the best time to play because those players are statistically better. He did a whole video about it, but I don't know how much I buy into it.
I think, like, if you really go down to the exact statistics of it, technically playing later into the night, like, gets worse. I think it's more based around how do you feel when you're playing at some time. I know that sometimes I've jumped into a ranked game at 2 o'clock in the morning and I end up playing like crap because I'm tired and it's been a long day already. I think it's more
Yeah,
like
the peak
at the
time
end of
you
the
want
day,
to
it's
play
about
League
you.
of Legends is 4:35 a.m. No matter where you are. You know?
Yeah. There is no magical time, and if you deserve to be in a different elo than the one you're in, it doesn't matter what time of day you're playing at.
I mean, he says that, but I've never lost at 4:35 a.m.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Oh, it's getting close. I'm gonna play my one rank game, guys, and I'm gonna climb
Yeah.
into my coffin for the day and wake up tomorrow.
Yeah,
But-
I think like part of it is like what Ponderous Sealion was talking about earlier about I don't know why I just called you Ponderous. Anyways, the 30%
That's
are
me.
always win, 30% you can't win, 30% are up to you. There's like a tiny little percentage in there that matters what time you're playing. It's like 0.1%. So if you play like 1,000 games, it might affect your entire win rate.
So
Like,
I will say one thing. The later into the night that you play, because this is speaking someone with the worst sleep schedule imaginable, where I stay up till 5 every morning. But like the later you go in the night, the wider the elo difference is going to likely be, because there's fewer play, and this is more for high elo. If you're playing in bronze, silver, gold, it shouldn't matter, but you're just statistically more likely to have a wider variance in the skill level of your games the later you play at night. And
that may
what's your name?
help
And
you.
what Wormlax is talking about with the, what's your real name again?
Alec.
What Alec was talking about earlier, with like, you might play worse. Well, I'm wide awake at 2 a.m. I'll be like the master, like I'll be like a sober guy in a bar fight at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? All these other tired assholes are like, they have no mechanics, they have nothing, but I'm wide awake. So
And
it could
Michael
actually
will
benefit
lose.
that
He will
case.
lose that bar fight because everyone in the bar is Jackie Chan.
I'll take
Drunken
Jackie
masters.
Chan. I'll
Ooh,
take him.
those are
But
fighting
yeah,
words.
so it's like, oh, and you're asking about, seems like they've had really bad players in the game. I mean, realistically, they've always been bad. Maybe you're just noticing it now. But the actual potential explanation that I don't know if this is right is that everybody who spammed a shit ton of games early season to get to high elo might be falling now. So like, if you play 300 games in the first like month that ranked is out, you're likely to get to a higher elo bracket than you should actually be at. So like, you might get to platinum 5 as like a gold 5 level player just because you played so many games. And now those people are in platinum 5 and they're starting to lose all their games because the elos are more or less settling back into what they should be. So that's possible for why that's happening. But I think that the real answer is people are just always bad.
Yeah, that early
I-
season
I
time
mean,
is
I-
definitely
I-
true, but it's
I
more
mean,
for higher
I
elo.
don't. I don't buy the magic time argument. I just don't.
I don't either.
Yep, I think we're all on the same. It's like what you said about you're wide awake at 2 a.m. It's about what you're. It's the same thing we've come back to. It's about how you're feeling, what you do. If you're tired,
That should be the
When you're
title of the
playing-
podcast this week. It's all about you guys.
we're just gonna send our love your way because it's all about you. And don't play if you're fucking tired because that plays into tilt too. If you're tired, you'll make worse decisions. You'll make worse decisions. You'll get more angry at yourself. You're more tired, so you get more angry more fast, and it's just a snowball effect.
Oh,
Just-
can I go back real quick to
Yeah.
Michael Alexander's question about stimulants?
Yeah.
Sleep is the best stimulant you could ever receive.
Ooh, that's
If
actually
you sleep-
true.
If you sleep for 10 hours and then decide when you wake up, you take your shower, you know, get ready and all that stuff, and then you go play some League of Legends, you're going to play way fucking better because sleep and water and eating will actually help you a lot more than probably any stimulant would. That's why all the fucking esports pros go to the gym, because it actually does affect your game,
Yeah.
much as I don't want it to be true.
Exercise is really important for mentality. Like, insanely important.
That is why Michael and I have shit mentality.
I can't argue with that, actually.
I'm gonna do side bends or sit-ups, but please don't lose this game.
So just make your setup so you don't have a back in your chair and just start doing sit-ups while you're playing. And then the exercise mentality, it'll just flow through you while you're playing. It'll be perfect.
My anaconda
That's everything, right?
don't want none unless you're gold 5, hon. Yeah, we're good. We hit it. We hit it all. So let's wrap this bitch up. So announcements. Sam said one, and I can't remember what it was. Does anybody remember what the announcement
Listener
was?
Collins.
Oh, yeah.
My-
We got listener Collins next week.
Right there in the announcements page.
Oh, is it? Let me scroll down.
Yeah, that's
Let me
right.
scroll down to the announcements page, and yeah, so we have listener Collins next week. Let me know in Discord if you guys are
Whoa,
interested.
Blake, how'd you know?
I don't
Holy
know.
cow.
I'm good that way about details and shit.
Man,
So,
master
yeah.
host right here.
Yeah. I'm a Diamond 5 host, you know. Top 1% of all hosts.
He's got some glaring weaknesses.
Yeah,
but he's got other
that's-
strengths.
I
Don't
have
worry.
piss poor map awareness on the show notes. But yeah, guys, listener call-ins, those are always fun. Call in, talk, hear yourself on the podcast. All you have to do that is let us know you're interested in Discord. Our Discord link is in the show notes. So hit us up and you can join or go to the podcast website, lolapodcast.com. There's a widget on the web. You can get into the website.
Yeah. And don't forget about community games on Wednesdays. We have a lot of fun with those.
Yeah, we've had like straight up 15 to 20 people every time.
Yeah.
It's
Yesterday,
been pretty awesome.
we were doing them. I was playing custom games with 10 people, and Sam had a full team playing normal games. So either we have custom games going or we get people into normal games. We have a good time with it.
A real good time.
One more announcement. There's going to be a survey on their Twitter for whether or not you want me to stay on the podcast.
Is
You
there?
vote either fuck this retard or nah, this guy's all right. Those are the two options. So be sure to vote, guys. My fate rests in your hands.
Hold on. Where are we going to put this up? Because I'm going to put it up like right now, I think.
You can put it on the Lola Twitter, I
The
guess.
Lola
I'm
Twitter?
voting for me, though.
Okay, let me
I
go
don't
ahead.
fucking know, dude. I just made that up.
No, I'm going to do it. Now we're doing this. This is happening.
you.
All
Maybe
right.
before putting something on Twitter, should wrap something else up we're doing. You know.
Go for it, man. You rap.
All right, guys. That is our listener questions. Make sure to get on Facebook and follow our groups, League of Legends Anonymous. We have a lot of good discussions in there, and we just got Ashley onto the team helping us out on there, so hopefully we have some good discussions in there. This has been a great show. We got our first show with the good old Ponderous Sealion. Michael, thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you
And-
for having me. It was fun.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's been a good time. And we've got Blake, our ever so gracious host, who is now looking at his phone to update Twitter.
Get on, everybody! That was where we're at, right? That's where we're at in the show?
Yeah, that was the end.
Okay, cool.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
All right. I stopped the Zencaster. You can't put me on the spot like that, Blake. I'm not good at